Alright, so I am back, and today we're going to take a look at the Gigapower Gutter figure, or their version of Snarl. And yeah, he's really cool. First thing I want to talk about, though, before we get into the actual figure, is the hips. I hear there's a lot of people having issues with the hips, and that things need to be tightened. So I just spent the last 2 hours working on this figure, because it's true. You do need to fix the hips. In particular, my right leg was actually really loose at the socket. But what the problem is not something that is easily fixed. So my advice would be, only because, I mean, mine was a little loose. It wasn't going to break. I hear that some of them are breaking, but only start dismantling this thing if you know what you're doing. If you are, I would say, near expert when it comes to dismantling transformers and getting them back together right, that's the only people I would recommend doing it. Do not do it if you're an amateur, because you're not going to be able to get it back together properly. If you guys would like, I would be happy to do a repair bay on this guy next week. So that's the question of the day. If you guys want me to do a repair bay on his hips, I will be happy to do it. But it took me about 2 hours to do it on my own without the camera. Now that I know what I'm doing, I probably can get it done a little bit quicker. But just a quick run through, what you have to do is you have to take the back section off here. This top section has to come apart first. Then you can take, then this middle section here will split in half, allowing you to take this and split this in half. And then you can take the crotch plate and the butt plate off, split those in half. And then you can take the waist piece and split that in half, and finally you'll be able to get into the hip sockets to repair that hip. It's insane, because they stack built it. So it's like nothing down here can come out with the screws until you get this section out, and this won't come out until you get this section out, and this won't come out until these things are off. So it's interesting. And then the ratchets for the hips, those things popped out and flew off, and it took me about 20 minutes to find those. Anyway, so let's talk about the figure. And he's really cool. I really like this figure. He's big, he's bulky, and he just looks awesome. He's got a lot of die cast in him. He's got some tolerance issues, and I'll show those off as we go. But nothing too terrible. So let's get into accessories first. It does come with the rifle. Now I don't do the batteries because I just don't care about stuff like that, so that didn't happen. And you can take that, and he's just got the side plug right there. So you open up his hand, and you will rotate the thumb down, get that out of the way, and he's just got a slot that's right in here, right there. And then you can just plug that on. And then you rotate the thumb back over, curl up the fingers, and there he has his rifle. So that's pretty cool. I like that. He holds it really well. It'll pop out if you jar it too hard, but it holds pretty well. He also has the sword. Again, you get the button down here that would turn it on, but I'm one of those. I would have rather saved $5 on the overall figure to not have a light up gimmick to begin with. And you do the same thing over here. You just open his hand, slot it in. Now this one is I mean, you can see I don't even have his fingers wrapped on it. I'm gonna try this. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but okay, there you go. I'm holding it by just the sword. That's how strong that peg is for the sword. The gun, not so much, but the sword definitely is a sturdy connection. Alright, next accessory. He comes with this missile launcher, which for me, I'm not quite getting the reference. I don't recall him ever having it in the show, and I don't remember if he had it on the toy or not. But essentially what you do is you just take this, there's a little plug right there for the screws, and you can just plug that in right there, and now he's got a shoulder cannon. I think that's too much. I'm not a fan of that. Not at all. He also comes with a different head. As you can see, it's more of a snarly face. It's got the red bits here and red eyes. That's more for if you were going toy accurate, because I believe the toys had the red eyes. And it's just a ball joint, so you can just take this and unplug it like so. And you can take the red one and plug that in. So, all depends. You know, quite frankly, I would really like it if they would have given us the red bit here on this one. Actually, just give this guy blue eyes, because I like that head. I just don't like the red eyes. I think, like, from a distance, that that comes off pretty well. And that's a tight ball joint. So I don't recommend doing that one very often. Definitely figure out what you want to do and do it, and then stick with it. So there's his head. I'm going to take this stupid shoulder cannon off because I don't like it. I mean, it's cool that they added it in there, don't get me wrong. But I'm just not a huge fan of that. It also comes with this little clear bit. Now, mine didn't come with the box or instructions, so I'm assuming what this is for. I'm not 100%, but I'm assuming what this one's for is you can plug it in back here somewhere, right there, and maybe take the sword. Come on. Man, that's tight. And slot it in. There you go. Yeah. And that holds it all right, but you know, it's not perfect, so you can see it's just kind of resting in there. Also getting that out of there. Oh, that's tight. There we go. Alright. Next bit of accessories. We've got this piece here, this flamey piece, and this flamey piece. And what you want to do with these is you'll take the sword here, pop that right there, then take this and put this here, and everything plugs in together. And now you got the flamey sword. And that's really cool. I really like the way that looks. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. When I saw the promo pictures, I was like, oh, that's stupid. But yeah, this thing is pretty cool. It really makes his arm heavy, but those ratchets are pretty sturdy. So he can hold it. I don't know how much I'd recommend risking those ratchets for it, but it does look cool. I do like it. And then he also comes with this little bit here, which makes it look like his rifle is firing. Which again, you know, it's nice. I like it. I think these things are pretty cool accessories. I mean, and they weren't necessary. Yeah, I kind of wish that they would have saved the money and made this as like an upgrade kit, but then I would have bought the upgrade kit. And I'd be sitting there like not knowing how awesome the stuff really is. So I think they're cool. I do like them. So I like those better than the shoulder cannon bits. And the little sword holder thing. I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm going to get the weapons out of the way here. Set those off to the side. And we'll go into posability. So we already know the head is on a ball joint. Looks around, a little wiggle there, up and down, just a little bit, not much. I kind of wish it was on a double hinge so that it could rock a little bit further back and down. Shoulders go up and down. We got this in and out thing right here going with this hinge, this whole bit that rotates out. So you've got full range of motion there. Arm swivels around. He bends at the elbow. It almost looks like there's a double joint in there, but it's actually just the single. Hand rotates. Thumb is on a ball joint. I'm going to pull him in for this. Thumb is on a ball joint. It's kind of loose. And I don't remember who else I saw. I know I saw this on a video somewhere, but each one of the fingers has one point at the knuckle and then one more point at the finger. But so I know I'm not the only one that has that. See, this one doesn't do that. When they're together, they don't do it so bad, but when they're by themselves, see, that one's not too bad, but this one and this one. So he can't do the metal horns because his fingers are too floppy. And then that's pretty much the same on the other side too. I think it's the same two fingers actually. So yeah, there you go. Floppy fingers. Very unfortunate. And that's why, I would prefer, like how Optimus does his with the one finger that moves and then the rest one piece. I'm okay with that. Or if you're gonna do full finger articulations, you've got to pen each digit. You cannot just do friction joints. That doesn't work. You've got to pen them. Like, I hate to say it, but Apollyon did it right. Alright, continuing on. He's got this nice waist, or he's got a waist swivel. I don't know why I said nice, but it's a tight waist swivel. It works. He's got the hip skirting here. You can move those out of the way so you can get full range of articulation on the legs. Rotates up. As you can see, the legs are just a little too heavy. So the ratchets just aren't tight enough. And I was just in there and I tightened everything. So they do go out and they do hold there. Thigh swivel. Get you a little bit, but it kind of gets caught up because of the way that things are designed. The further you have it out, the further it rotates around. Bends at the knee. Nice solid joint there. Alright, and then the foot has a little bit of a tilt to it, but not much. He does have this little bit of a heel rocker. As you can see, certain things don't hold in as well as I would have liked. But all in all, he's pretty cool, pretty solid. I do like him. My biggest concern, well, I'll save that for later. I'll save that for closing thoughts. We're already 15 minutes in. We haven't even touched on transformation yet. Alright, so let's get into transformation, shall we? He is surprisingly not that complicated. Oh, before we do that, he also has this bit where he opens up and he can do whatever it is he does with open chest. Maybe the Dinobot Matrix of Leadership? I don't know. Alright, so you want to flip this piece open. And I rotate the head down. As you can tell, it's getting complicated now, isn't it? Take this piece here up, rotates it over. It's one of those transformations where it is simple, but at the same time, I can't imagine it being more complex because it works. So, I mean, why overcomplicate something that doesn't work unless you're X-Transbots or Bad Cube? Alright, so rotate the hands up like so. You just kind of make them into fists. Try and compress them down as much as you can. Then you want to open up these panels here. Open up there. This will rotate around. Pull the toes down. This will close up. Close up. Lock that into place, and you're good to go on the leg. Next thing you want to do here, let's just go ahead and do this. Rotate the tail back. Plug it together. I mean, it's not one of those like, oh, you got to line it up. I mean, there's only one way it's going to close up, and that's going to be closed up together. So it's pretty simple. Now, what you want to do here is you want to pull this joint out, and there's another notch down here. It's hard to show off in camera. So you want to pull this out, rotate this down, and then that notch is lined up, and then you can push this in like so. So again, out, down, and in. When you have it in hand, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just clearance issues with the camera. Alright, so open up these panels, fold up this fist, rotate this out, close all this up, and close that down. Alright, let's get into the legs here. Alright, so we want to rotate the waist around like so. Fold these flaps up just for now. Just get those out of the way for now. And what we want to do is you rotate this around, come out, rotate this around, and then rotate it back. You don't have to do the full swivel. You shouldn't, because there's a little bit that's up here that's going to compromise the stability, or compromise the transformation, I should say. So you want to kind of hold that into place and just rotate the hips. Rotate that back. Then you can flip the skirting back down. Alright, so fold the dyno head down, fold this down, open up this panel here. This part right here is cool aesthetics if you're looking at the bottom of his feet. In robot mode, I don't understand the purpose of it though. So, but yeah, you just fold that in, close that up, and then flip this out like so. And then you want to take this piece here, untab that, and this will rotate forward. It's very similar to Grimlock's leg transformation, the MP Grimlock. So this will rotate around. Get this out of the way. I think we need to wait on that arm transformation thing. Alright. Come on. So this will close up like so. Just like that. Do the same thing over here. As you can see, there's a few clearance issues going on here, but it's not terrible. But you just fold it up. Eventually you'll get it in there. And then all this will tab in together. Like so. Rotate that back in. So yeah, we want to wait to move the arm joint down until after we get the legs into place. And you just pull the legs out. And there you go. He is in dyno mode. A little bit of a bear because of his size and trying to get it on the camera. That's my biggest problem. Most of you guys won't have that problem, but I do. So yeah, he's cool. I really like him. I think he really fits the bill of a Dinobot, and yeah, I've got some issues here though. So let's go posability here real quick. Head swivel side to side. It looks like there's a joint there to rotate the head, but it doesn't. Oh, there it goes up. It'll go up a little bit. Won't go any further down. Mouth opens. You can see little cannons in there. Shoulder here is on a... I don't know what that is. It's like a hinged socket. So it can kind of go in and out. It goes all the way around. No swivels, but the knees are on ratchets. Here, foot has a little bit of an ankle tilt going, and the toes open and close. This is really, really loose. And I think that's because these are die cast. Let's see here. I got a knife right here. Let's see here. Yeah, die cast. These arms up and down. There is a swivel. Bends at the knee. Foot has the rocker and the tilt, and then the toes pivot a little bit as well. And the tail has this little bit of a wag right there. And these toes are die cast. You can tell the difference on these ones because of the paint on the metal. And every single one of these all the way until you get to the last one's plastic, but the rest of these, no, last two are plastic. No, those are die cast. Those are die cast. These aren't die cast. But yeah, all of the fins are die cast. This whole plate here is die cast. Or at least it feels like it's die cast. Maybe it's just because of all the weight. Anyway, there's a lot of die cast on this thing. He's got some heft to him. I mean, he's a good hefty figure. Let's see. Accessory wise for this mode, he comes with the little rubber things again. And what you do with these is you just plug them on his feet. Just gonna slot them on there. Yeah, so that it makes it look like the base is on fire or something. Maybe he's about ready to take off flight. These are okay, but I can't see myself displaying them. I might do a flame sword here and there, or I might do the shooty thing from the gun. Next thing, I was about to say next problem, and that's kind of what this is. He's got this clear bit that goes right over here. This goes over his neck. So that kills his posability in the neck, and it doesn't hold on very well. And then he's got this clear bit here that goes over his head to give it more like the G1 toy look. But it doesn't hold on. I mean, there's no friction on it. It just sits on there. I mean, it's just it does not clip in at all. It just, there's nothing holding this thing together. So that's really disappointing. Because I probably would have left those on if they would have worked. So getting this stuff out of the way, let's get them back into robot mode. So those legs just kind of fold up there. I'll just kind of sit in there. I wish there was a tab that held this in a little bit better, but you know, so be it. And then we split the legs. Now let's move these arms up out of the way here. So let's split the legs here. Rotate this up. They'll tab together loosely. So kind of sit over there. And then you want to rotate this back around. This will fold up, and you would, like I said, you'd take this piece here and you'd flip it out and flip it in the toe, but I'm going to just not do that so I can show you that that's just one pointless piece of articulation or transformation. It's just, I mean, the only aesthetic it serves is if you're looking at the bottom of the feet. Seriously, it does nothing else. So, alright, so rotate the foot. These panels out of the way here so we can, there we go. Just like that. Rotates up, rotates up. Flip that around. Rotate the waist. Tilt the camera up so you guys can see what I'm doing. Pull that out. And push the fist through. Like that. This all collapse together real nice. And then open up the hand. Same thing over here. Extend, open, open. Collapse that up. Split that. Take this piece here and it just untabs, folds down. Alright, and there you go. There we have him back in robot mode. So let's do some size comparisons. So depending on how you feel your Dinobot should be, or how big you feel it should be, this could either work really well or not at all. Some people like their Dinobots huge. I'm not one of those people. My camera just broke. I need a new tripod. Alright, and here he is with the Legends. So yeah, I personally would say this is not in right scale at all. So these don't work. And I did try to fix this guy's wings and I couldn't do it. Here he is with the Classics Prime. Again, this does not work at all. Here he is with MP10. And this works depending on which episode you're watching, because they do fluctuate from episode to episode, to being massive to Optimus Prime to being about the same size as Optimus Prime, and then, just, we go back into the scale. What's your personal preference on these things? But he is significantly bigger than Prime and heftier. And here he is with an Autobot car. And I really wish I had Wheeljack, because that would have been more fitting. So anyway, final thoughts on this guy. He's done pretty well. He's got some issues with the fingers and the hips, and yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, there's a few issues. It's not terrible. It's nothing that we haven't seen before with some companies. So it boils down to two things. Do you want this figure in this scale? Because this will not work with any other Dino scales that we got going. And two, do you want to take the risk of it not being finished? That's the big risk. Gigapower, of course, everyone's going to say, yeah, buy my product. I'm going to complete the set. But here's what it boils down to. We've got so many Dinobots out there. Third-party Dinobots everywhere. Chug has got Planet X, Fans Project, Toy World, and I think that's it. Was it just the three? Yeah. And then Masterpiece has got Bullsfire, Gigapower, and G Creations here. G Creations. But Masterpiece has got Bullsfire, Gigapower, and Fans Toys. Now, when it comes to Chug, here's my problem. Toy World's almost done. Fans Project is almost done. Planet X is pretty much done. So, G Creations has one Dino out. How many people, I mean, yes, they put out one of the better products, but how many people are really going to invest money into something that's, again, it's going to be so long. When we waited so long, it's like, and there's going to be full sets of Dinobots out there. So, why wait? Masterpiece, we got Fans Toys just tromping over everybody, and they're almost done with their collection. You got Gigapower, who's got one figure in the bag, and so far that's it. And then you got Bullsfire, which has one figure in the bag, and it's on Uber clearance. Last weekend, Big Bad Toy Store had it up for like $110 or something like that. So it's like, it just, I don't know if this company is going to continue. And I don't know if it would be smart for it to continue because of Fans Toys. And that's my problem with it, is I don't know if this company is going to last. So, the first outing of a figure, and they had a lot of issues. Or they had enough issues that they had to, tell people like, oh, hey, the hips are bad. Watch out for those hips. Stuff like that. I fixed mine. It seems pretty solid. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't have happened, but I understand quality control issues happen with everybody. Nobody's exempt from quality control issues, but at the same time, it's very unfortunate that it's their first outing on a figure. That being said, it does feel like they know what they're doing. The diecast is awesome. The sculpt is great. It's sharp. It's the paintwork is just amazing. I like the gold instead of chrome. Quite frankly, I'm torn because I want this set. I want this set more than I want Fans Toys, but I'm afraid that they won't finish it. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this guy or not, because I really like this guy. I think he's better than the Scoria figure that I had. I know they're not the same figure or character, but that was the only Fans Toys Dinobot that I actually had, and I think this guy's better in my opinion, because I like this. I mean, I love chrome, don't get me wrong, but I like this gold paint. It looks so good on him. And this red paint is that hot rod red paint that I wish they would have used on more figures, because this is just gorgeous. So it's like, I love this figure. I'm afraid that they won't continue, and I'll be stuck with half a Dinobot team or one figure of a Dinobot team, and then scrambling to buy the rest of the Fans Toys ones that are going to go through the roof, and this guy's going to be on super clearance because the company folds. So anyway, all in all, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I think he's pretty close to being perfect. They've got some bugs to work out. I really, really wish like this would have worked a little bit better, but it doesn't. But yeah, all in all, I think the accessories are fun. Only thing I wish they hadn't done was the clicky light sword, but everyone seems to be wanting to do that with the Masterpiece figure. Because, we like to play with our toys when they're Masterpiece, right? But anyway, I can't tell you how many times I use that light up feature on my Masterpiece figures. If my toy comes with an electronic, I usually stab it with a screwdriver so it stops working. Just to let you know. Anyway, Scoria. We'll be back tomorrow to take a look at one of the MP Seekers.